So is that the answer in your book? Here you go. Is that the answer in your book?
Yes.
So let's pick some of the problems that you struggle with. That seemed to be easy. Find one that you struggle with and let's do that one.
Number 10.
Okay, number 10. Call it out to me.
It has a table, but...
Okay, let me take a look. Problem number 10. It says, the table shows the length of 3 trails to different waterfalls. So we have a rainbow. We have a cascade. You know what a cascade is, Priya?
No.
When you see a waterfall, when the water's coming off a hill or something and it's running down, it's called a cascade. So, the length is 6 3/8 of the rainbow. We have 8 3/4 of the cascade, and we have 9 1/2 of the river. And these are our lengths. Okay, so our question says, Luna has hiked 2/5 of the Cascade Trail. So Luna has hiked 2/5 of Cascade. And it says, how many miles does she have left to hike? So we want to know what exactly?
How many miles she has left?
Meaning, she's already traveled 2/5 of the trail, right? So once we find that answer, what do we have to do?
Divide? No, subtract.
Exactly. So come on. Multiply. So let's see.
So you multiply this?
Yes, ma'am. So rewrite your problem here. 8 3/4. Now do your math. You're changing it from a mixed number to a fraction, correct? Okay. Good job. Now, what goes next? Right, and this is something I want you to always remember. Whenever you're doing a problem, always make sure you keep your equal sign, because what this is saying is 8 3/4 is equal to 35/4, correct? So now, come down, rewrite your problem, and we want to multiply, correct? Now, what are we multiplying by?
2/5.
Yes, ma'am. No, see, you made a mistake. We're multiplying, not dividing. You have to remember, when you're dividing, that's when you turn it over. When you're multiplying, you keep the number. So, where's your equal sign? All right. Now, what do we do?
Multiply.
Straight across? Okay. Okay, now let me show you something, Priya. Before we go any further, I want to show you something, because it's obvious that you have it, so I want to show you a small shortcut, okay? Now, because you have this multiplication symbol, you can do what is called least common multiple. So what number will go both into 4 and 2 evenly?
2.
2. So if I divided 2 into 2, what does that become? Show me.
This.
No, don't just, always just draw a line through it, and that'll make it 1. So that makes the 4 become what?
2.
Okay. Now, both the 7 and the 35 and the 5, correct? So what do they become?
This comes with 1.
Yes, ma'am.
That comes with 7.
Okay, now, also, here, whenever you have numbers like this, Priya, let's say 7, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? And we say 2, 0, 0, 0. The answer will be this. Without having to take 2,000 and divide it into 70,000, we'll just go 1. Now, the answer will be 700 over 2. See? Which will be 350. So, what is this? According to what I just showed you with the zeros,
7 over 2.
show me. Right, now, put your equal sign, rewrite your problem here. So you always know, from here, remember we started here, multiplied that equals this. Now we have determined that this is 7 over 2. So come back and say 7 over 2. Now, we know we have one more step to go right. So show me. Come over here, you can show me over here where you don't get in the way of your answer.
So we write.
This is where we are right here.
I don't know what the next step is.
Gotcha. That's what I was wanting to see. Now, this is called, let's get rid of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. That is called an improper fraction. You heard that before, I'm sure, right? So, an improper fraction means that this, the numerator, is larger than the denominator. Right? So whenever the numerator is larger than the denominator, I have to say 2 divided into 7, right? Now you can do that. That's what this is equal to. Now let's see your math. Good job. So let's see your answer in your book.
But they don't give you answer choices, you just write down the answer.
Okay, 3 and 1/2. Okay. So, we came up, we're not done, right? Because we said that Luna has walked 3 1/2 of the Cascade. It says, how much further does she have to go, correct? How long was the Cascade trip? So we have 8 3/4. So you said we have to subtract, correct? Because we want to know how much further she has to go. So let's see your math. Do you know how to do that? Okay. Same thing like the other one?
That's why I multiply that.
Right. So we go here, and I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it, okay? And here. So this becomes 4 times 8 is 32, plus 3 is 35 over 4, right? Minus 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1, 7 over 2. Right? Now, we want to find what is called common denominator. Right? So what's our common denominator? 4. So, what if I said, just did it like this? I put 1 common denominator. I know that's my common denominator. So, what number times 4 will give you 4?
2 times 2.
But 4 times what is 4? 1. So I know that I have to multiply 1 by here and 1 by here, because I said my common denominator is 4. We with me? Now, what times 2 will give you 4?
2.
So I know I have to multiply 2 times 2. Top and bottom. Anything you do when you have an equal sign, you have to do it on both sides, top and bottom. Always. You can't do it on the top and not the bottom, or on the left and not the right. Everything has to stay balanced, okay? So now, 1 times 35 is 35, right? Minus sign. 2 times 7 is 14. Correct? So 35 minus 14 is
2.
so here I have 21, still have my line, I got my 4. And I always write the problem all the way out like this so I make sure that I don't forget any of my numbers. So now what do I do from here? Well, 2 won't go into 21. So right here, Priya, I think this is where you're getting stuck. When you get down to there, all you have to do is just remember that right there says divide. It screams divide. All right? Or I tell you what, look at it like this. You like horses? This is the cowboy. This is the horse. Right? This right here is your saloon. You can't take your horse in the saloon, right? So you always have to put your horse outside. And the cowboy, he goes inside. Always. Can you remember that? So what is he? And your cowboy rides your horse, right? You're the cowgirl. So the cowgirl goes inside. You're not going to take your horse inside. So just remember, always leave your horse outside, you go in. So what's the answer for that? So let's see if we're all right. Priya, Miss Priya. If that is true, then that means this, that 3 and 1/2 plus 5 and 1/4 should equal 8 3/4. Is that right? So, this is the second way. If I say 3 and 1/2 plus 5 and 1/4. Right? Now, I don't have to mix all those numbers up because it's just going to come back the same way like this, right? So now, I say, what is my common denominator? You finish that for me. This is what I want to do first. is this. So, 8 3/4. Like that? All right.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop,
So
there it
your
is.
answer is 5 1/4. So you can write that one in the book. Priya just smiling. Go ahead and write it.
I don't write in the book. We always